happy day after St. Patrick's Day.
And to you.
Thank you. I start off that way because I know this morning there are people on this campus who weren't able to wake up early.
This morning?
Probably because they didn't go to bed until this morning. They might still be nursing some headaches and cleaning up some messes right now. I think it's funny what America has done with a lot of holidays and festivals that have inundated this society. I mean, we find excuses to just go ahead and get drunk, right? Americans are known college students. They're known people outside of college. The bars were filled last night for St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day, let's get drunk. It's Cinco de Mayo, let's get drunk. It's Groundhog's Day, let's go get drunk. It's Tuesday, let's go get drunk. Our team is winning, let's get drunk.
Our team is losing. Every now and then I'm going to step ahead.
Oh, I'm going to trip over something. When there's a lot of people in the room, there's less room up here, so, whatever.
Thank you for going there and not when there's a lot of people in the room. Let's get on.
Yeah. So, it saddens me, because we are also in the season of Lent. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many people here celebrate Lent. I don't know how many people here celebrate Ash Wednesday and know anything about it. I know I did for a long time. And it is one of the most holy times on the church calendar. It is where we have given up something. We have sacrificed something. Some people have given up meat. Some people have given up iPods,
television.
Some people gave up television. Some people have. It's a time of discipline to change yourself, to work on something in your life that A, doesn't need to be there, or B, something that needs to be there. I personally have taken up blogging for Lent. Isn't that something weird? But it's something I fail at as a appointed missionary, is keeping people informed of what I'm doing in life. And if I want to be a sport-raising missionary, I have to let people know what I'm doing in life. I'm so good at I would just rather just do it and then tell you later, much later. Maybe once a year, I'll just tell you. But so keeping people informed on what I'm doing is tough. So I took up blogging to put that in my life. And let me tell you something. There are days that I have nothing to say. And I promised I was going to blog for 40 days, once a day. So I have to say something. Even if I say something about nothing, I've got to talk and blog. And in this, so I've committed to build that in my life, to change things. That's what Lent is all about, a preparation for the coming of Christ, or the coming of the resurrection of Christ. To change yourself to be more like Him. And in the middle of this holy period, we have this day called St. Patrick's Day, where people have taken that as an opportunity to, hey, let's go party, get wasted, and forget the fact that we're doing our Holy Communion situation. Lent, it starts off with Ash Wednesday. And before Ash Wednesday is what, Fat Tuesday? Mardi Gras. So it starts off with a party. You got a party in the middle, and then you got there's a thing at the end where I can party again.
With your family.
With your family, I gotta go to church that day. And I started looking into St. Patrick's Day, looking into this guy named St. Patrick, and figuring out who is he, and why do we do the things that we do, or what's so special about him. And I looked into some myths and some ideas of that he wasn't. Like, for instance, he wasn't Irish, for one thing. We're looking at a man who was English born. He wasn't even English. He was Roman, living in England. He got abducted by Irish, taken across the channel to Ireland, where he lived as a slave. Not just as a slave, but as a shepherd slave. He had to watch somebody else's sheep for them. For, what it was, 6, 10 years, something like that. For years, he worked as a shepherd for this other guy in a land that was not his home. Then he escaped. God gave him a vision to go back, get out of there. Now's the time to leave. Exit by the shore. He goes back home to England, where he lives again for several more years. I don't know the exact dates. My mind is not catching everything. I should have wrote it down, but I don't have an iPad system. I'm glad somebody laughed at that. Somebody looked at me like, what? Where'd that come from? And then God calls him back to Ireland to work, to minister, to tell the people about Jesus. Can you imagine being in that situation? Can you imagine having been a slave at a place and then you're told to go back and tell them about Christ? Could you do it? I don't know if I could. I'm like, they treated me bad. They deserve to go to hell. They don't deserve Jesus. But God called St. Patrick to go back over there. St. Patrick is credited for bringing Christianity to the land of Ireland. Credited. However, he wasn't the first Christian on the shore. The Catholic Church sent a bishop over there beforehand. And I think there's a difference between bringing Christianity to an island and bringing Christ to the island. Because we can bring a religion anywhere with us, right? We can bring our religion and force people or try to convince people that our religion is the right way to do things, that our religion is how we should go about. But there's a difference between bringing Christianity to a place and bringing Christ to a place. And I think, and I know Patrick gets the credit, not for bringing Christianity to the island, but he brought Christ. When I was in seminary, we had this concept of context. Contextualizing your faith. Contextualizing your religion. And I had problems with that for a while there. Because I think you can get so, the word context, you design your faith to fit in the context of your area, right? That's what they mean by contextualizing your religion. And I think there's a lot of times we get into problems where we contextualize it so much that we lose something, that it diminishes the Christ value. And we just said, okay, we've changed our context to fit your religion into this, to our religion, so that everything could fit in, and now it doesn't even look like Christ anymore. But, so I thought automatically I'm thinking contextualization bad. Don't do it. It's wrong. God, there's the law of God. There's three things you don't mess with. You don't dilute the gospel. You don't water it down. Patrick didn't do that. He didn't water down the gospel. But he found a way to use what was already happening in Ireland. Already happening over there. What their religion dealt with. And he said, let me use what you've got over here and preach Christ to it. The story of the Celtic cross is that he added Druid knots and he added concepts of the sun that the Druids worshipped. And he said the sun, it's a good representation of Christ. If I could just show them this, take something in their religion and show them Christ, then everything will be all right. And then I could convince them that this God is right. The concept of the shamrock. He looked at me and he saw these clovers, these 3-leaf clover things, shamrock drawing, and he picked that up and he pointed it out and he used it to explain to the people the Trinity. Stuff that's in his hands, stuff that's in his area, stuff that's around him. And today, a Roman slave in Ireland is considered the patron saint of an entire country, of an entire land. Because he was able to overcome a lot of stuff and to lead these people to Christ.